So it is 7:30 in the evening, about 7:20. I'm leaving Hammond, Indiana, and as I was leaving Walgreens in Hammond, Indiana, I didn't want to record this situation because we see enough of this, we hear about enough of this, and as unfortunate as it is, I think the situation that occurred with George Floyd was so heinous and evil that it shocked enough and gave enough trauma to so many people that we don't need to relive that if we don't have to. But as I was getting in my car, I saw police officers pulling a white pickup truck over, and it was one officer, then it was two officers, then it was three officers, then it was four officers, then it was five officers, then it was six officers, then it was seven officers, then it was eight officers. It was literally 9 police cars behind this one truck. Then there were also 2 trucks inside a gas station on the side of this white pickup truck. Then there was a police car in front of this white pickup truck. So altogether, we're looking at about 12 police vehicles out here, one pickup truck. I couldn't see who was in the pickup truck because of the angle I was standing. So finally, I'm just standing and I'm watching because I'm like, wow, what is going on to where there's this many police officers for one truck? And finally, the person puts their hands out the window. So, see, it's a black man, young, maybe 30s. So he puts his both hands out the car. He's hanging out the driver window, both hands on the side of the truck. They walk up. One officer was standing behind his cab of his pickup truck with his gun drawn. It was other officers on the passenger side. It was other officers behind the truck. It was an officer in front of his truck. They walk up. They open the door. They cuff him. Put him on the ground. And while he's cuffed, the officer has his knee in his neck. Right below the back of his neck, his officer had his knee right there. And I'm seeing the officer's foot wiggle. I'm like, okay, he's in cuffs already. I'm like, and he didn't stay there long. But while he was doing that, I'm like, damn, these guys haven't learned from that shit yet. They still doing that shit to people. It's so unfortunate. And it's like, if you were by yourself as an officer and you had to defend yourself or protect yourself, that's one thing. But once a man is cuffed, once he's on the ground, and you got damn near 20 of your brothers in blue there with you, ain't nothing what could possibly transpire to the point where you have to have your knee on this man's back while he's cuffed, on his neck and back while he's cuffed already? It's like, come on, man. Come on. Just as a human being, I didn't see this man resist. And gratefully, like I said, I'm not the one I didn't want to have view this trauma and put this out because we see enough of it and we hear enough of it, and we should be growing from that situation in Minneapolis. We should be growing and learning equally as people, just in general, as human beings. We should be growing and learning, whether you wear a uniform or not. We be learning from that situation, from that experience. We should be appreciating the lesson of connecting more with each other as human beings from that situation. But to see that and see this man not resist, but I look to my left and I see somebody who had been recording it from the beginning. So if that person puts it out there, then it'll be out there for the world. But you had a group of people of different cultures watching this situation saying the same thing. He wasn't resisting. He wasn't resisting. So why? Why, when he on the ground, is a knee in his back and neck? Still haven't learned. It's an unlearned situation. And of course, I can imagine that one officer might have told that officer, hey, get up, or stop, or something, because after I saw his foot wiggle, he jumped up kind of fast. It's like, dude, he's apprehended. He's down on the ground. Now you're just being sick. Now you're just being spiteful. Because this man didn't throw a punch at none of you guys. He didn't pull a gun on none of you guys. He didn't even act violently until they started doing something or saying something to him when they were about to put him in the car. Then you saw him moving like, hey, looked like he was trying to say he needed help. If you ask me, looked like he was trying to say he needed help. If he looked like he was doing something wrong or fighting back, I would say that's what I saw. But what I saw was it looked like he was saying he needed help. They put him in the car, and all those officers stood there and stand there and talking, they standing around and talking and smiling and laughing. Don't know the situation. I don't know. For all I know, the person could have been a fugitive. He could not have been a fugitive. We don't know. But either way, we gotta learn that if it's not a threat to stop thinking to destroy and annihilate a person's life, if your life is not in danger, that's inhumane. It's inhumane. That's very inhumane. If this person isn't posing a personal threat to your person, it's like, that's sick to think to do that. And he not even wiggling and moving and fighting or nothing like that. He wasn't doing anything. You had him on the ground. We got to learn. And those who had those jobs and positions, they need to learn too. Because the backlash is, the street doesn't decipher who does wrong when it comes to a person in uniform. All the street knows is you did wrong and you wear that uniform. So every time, someone in a uniform does that to someone, no matter what color they are, all the street knows is when I see a uniform, I want to hurt a uniform. And so basically when you do wrong like that, my grandmother used to say you do wrong will follow you. You do right will follow you. You put every one of your brothers and sisters in blue in danger when you do that. And that goes on the same side of culturally. If I lived in a neighborhood where there was a lot of crime going on and I'm doing crime, and someone looks like me, not so much my skin color, but just my demeanor, my build, my hair, whatever. They dress like me, look like me. Now I'm putting every person who dresses and carries himself like me in danger. Because they're looking for someone who dresses like me, look like me, or carry themselves like me. So it goes that way on the other side too. When you do harm to people, you bringing back harm. It's karma. It's gonna come back. It may not come back in the form of how you did it, but it's gonna come back one day or another. And you just better pray that it doesn't come back on your loved ones or you or someone or something that you really care about. So let's do right by each other, man. Let's try to be more humane to each other. Let's try to be more kind to each other. Be grateful that we're in this hell together and try to get out of it. We should have learned that. We should have learned that after last year with everyone losing. To be more grateful be more kind to each other and be more grateful of your fellow person. Because when things started opening back up, it takes people to keep things moving. When things shut down, it took people to keep things moving and keep certain things and businesses afloat. We need each other. Whether you're in a uniform or not in a uniform, whether you work a certain job or don't work a certain job, we need each other. Be more kind to each other, no matter what job you have. I'm not telling you if you're in the jungle and a lion is attacking you not to protect yourself. That's stupid. But I'm just saying, when it's not a threat being posed, don't threat or harm another human being. There's no need for that, man. It's enough of that. It's enough of that in the world. And you add to it, it's enough of that. Let's be more kind to each other. Be more grateful to each other. Because without each other, none of the world stays afloat. If we don't support each other's businesses, it's not going to be here. If we don't support each other neighborly, community-wise, it's not going to be here. We look around and you can see the destruction of the lack of human kindness towards each other. and appreciation for each other and protection for each other. You can look around. Life shows us that every day. Turn on the news, you'll see it. You know? So let's be more kind to each other and stop being inhumane no matter what job you have, no matter what you do in this world. Try to be kind. You know, we understand, we know the balance of life is as good and as evil in this world. Add to the good. Go to the good side. Do something good. Make a difference. Be the one that doesn't do what everybody else does. Go against the grain a little bit. You know, stand tall in truth and goodness and kindness. You know, it comes back. That comes back too. But the other side comes back too. So don't forget that. Be kind. And those kindnesses are returned to you later in life. You may not know when it's going to happen. You may not know when or where. Maybe return to your child. Maybe return to your grandchild. Maybe return to your mother, your father, grandparents, nieces, nephews, whoever. Be kind. Be more kind. Peace.